So today we're going to discuss the healing process since December 11th and basically what she as nurse does to help me heal. So let's see, why don't you start?
So first of all, let me clarify. I am not a trained nurse.
Yes,
Okay.
let us clarify. She is
I am
not
not
a
formally
trained,
trained.
no,
I'm not a professional.
she has no license, no
I've just
nothing.
had experience taking care of this lovely woman you see before you. Post surgeries, post procedures, post ick.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
so it's like part of my wifely duties.
Part of your wifely duties. Okay, I wouldn't go that far, but yes, she's been a big help. So
But basically what we are going to talk about a little bit is the tools and equipment that we've been using for aftercare and healing, and what that process kind of looks like a little bit, and what the experience has been for both of us since surgery day.
yeah.
And I think, where do you want to start? You want to start with surgery day and
So
work your way this way, or
yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
okay?
So surgery day from my perspective is that we got to the hospital at 6 o'clock a.m. Kind of immediately got pulled back. Um, did the all weight, height, all that good stuff, vitals. Um, then a bunch of misgendering. Yay!
Oh.
And then rolled back to the OR. I told them I was nervous. They gave me something and knocked me the fuck out. I don't remember anything after that except for kind of waking up. And the first thing I remember waking up is AE Salad sitting right next to me taking pictures.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yep, that was the one promise that I had to make. No chit chat, no nothing, just straight in, take pictures as soon as I see her.
Yeah.
For the first time after surgery, which was pretty close to midnight. It was between like 11:30 and midnight. And I was very tired, but I did snap the pictures.
Yes, she did. Thank
And
you.
I have to say, and I know I've told you this already, that I was not fully prepared for what I would see post surgery. That, like, initially I was expecting her to be more cleaned up in terms of like residual blood and certain and oozing nonsense cleaned up. But unfortunately that was not the case. So she had some her head was wrapped with a headband wrap that wrapped from the chin up to the top of the head, and then there was a band across the forehead, and then another band that wrapped behind the neck and connected to the front of the sides of the wrap. That was basically to hold the wrap in place, both the front headband and the neck band.
Well, wasn't that also to hold the face in place?
Well, the band itself, yes, but the two straps that went behind the neck and across the forehead, those were just to keep that main band in place.
Okay. So to kind of reinforce
so it didn't slide back and it
Right.
didn't pull forward.
Okay.
So that particular viscera and whatnot. So that particular
Hey, Tig.
hey, the wrap was more bloodied than I thought it would be. Her pillow behind her was a little bloodied. And she had a lot of blood in and around her mouth, which that was probably the more alarming part for me. Because I was concerned, since she was laying down more than I thought they would have allowed her to, that she would choke on her own fluids, and that just made me very nervous.
Yeah. Would
So
have made me nervous if I was more coherent.
yeah, well, you were surprisingly more alert than I thought
I
you would have
was a
been at that
little
point.
alert, wasn't I?
But because as soon as I walked in and you heard my voice, you were like, Aggie!
Yeah, I remember that.
It was really cute.
I remember that.
And so I wasn't fully prepared, but it wasn't like I was freaking out. I just was more concerned for her not choking. So we put her bed in a more reclined position, like, well, not reclined, but more upright position, I should say.
Yeah.
So that way it wasn't going to be an issue. And then I had to leave because I had to take care of the pupper snoot, which he's sitting somewhere back here.
Yeah, he's behind us. Nick's the notorious
Hi, Anthony.
pug. Hey, Anthony. So yeah, so Egg leaves. I stay the night. She comes back the next morning, right?
Yep, I came back the next morning so that way I could be there for surgical rounds and make sure that she was in a good place, she had what she needed, and to hear the final word of if she was going to be allowed to be discharged or not. Thankfully, she was.
5 o'clock in the evening.
Yep, 5 o'clock. We got home around 6ish.
Yeah.
And
rush hour traffic.
And that was when Nurse Egg went fully on duty.
Okay. Right. I was completely blind. So she had to.
Yes, she was very swollen. Very swollen. Her eyes were swollen shut. Very puffy. Like I said, but I think I said this in the last video that didn't quite go as planned.
Right.
That she looked like the most adorable puffy marshmallow you ever did. But
you did say that, and it did go through.
Oh, it did that part, Jack?
That part did, yeah.
Well, she was the cutest marshmallow you ever saw. But she couldn't see anything, so having to help her navigate was that scary. Being able to see,
it was scary. Like I have a phobia of highways, so in that respect, it was not scary. Because I couldn't see the 18-wheelers, and I couldn't see what was going on the highway. Now, once we parked and it was time to go into our place, that's when it became a little nerve-wracking.
Well, sure, yeah, because you had to rely on me to get you up on the curb and to the door, and
right, and we also
to the bed and all that.
Yeah, and we have a baby gate so that Nix can only go so far.
Yeah, so I had to take the baby gate down for a second,
right?
So that way we could get her back to the bedroom.
And so she led me back to the bedroom. We had already had what is it called?
A bed setup where we had a bed wedge, and a series of pillows stacked so that way she could sleep in a
45 degree.
Yeah, somewhat like a partially reclined position. Because she wasn't allowed to sleep on her sides for the first week and a half. And
I had to sleep basically sitting up.
Yeah, it's I can only imagine how stressful it would be to have like some or any of your senses like removed. Like you can't use something, you know, like
it makes it kind of humbles you, in that regard.
Yeah,
it definitely humbles you. Yeah.
I can definitely see that.
So why don't we jump to the so we're at home. Do you remember?
That's when do I remember?
Yeah, do you remember the first night or the next day?
So the first night was certainly probably the most chaotic, only because we got home. Getting her set up was a challenge. One, because she couldn't see, and two, was a lot of trips back and forth. I think I did about like 5,000 hurdles over that baby gate that first night alone. At least that's what it feels like.
Right.
I wanted to make sure that she had everything she needed. We had in the bed, of course, we had all the pillows set up for the reclining. And then we had a bed tray so that way you could sit objects like the remote, your speaker, and your little bell.
Yeah. She bought me a little bell so that whenever I needed help, I could just go ding, 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 ding.
And ring her nurse.
And her nurse would definitely come. Doesn't matter what time, 3 a.m, 1 a.m, 1 in the afternoon.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, Kimmy. That's sweet. We love having you here.
Yes, definitely. But one of the cool things that Egg bought for me was a portable speaker. And I'm mad because my speakers on my laptop that I have connected don't really have the best bass. So I'm not feeling the bass, and I like to feel the bass in my music. It's an essential part of the music. So this little portable speaker does have that bass sound. And
Hey, Joe.
hey, Joe.
So,
Music is what makes me tick. So I appreciate that.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And we were toying with bringing the laptop in. I wanted to bring an extra screen in. None of that was necessary.
I'm glad we talked you out of that one.
Right, right. That would have been a big old mess. But one of the cool things she bought was a humidifier. And that helped me breathe a little bit.
Yeah. And again, you can put essential oils like peppermint or eucalyptus, is what we played around with.
Yeah.
In the humidifier.
Yeah.
So as far as the bell, there's a little story about the bell.
Okay.
When you were brought back for surgery and I left because I needed to come home, rest, take care of Nyx during the actual surgery. When I got in the car, I got a little emotional because I didn't want to have to actually leave you in the hospital alone.
Oh.
But I knew that there was nothing for me to do there other than just sit and twiddle my thumbs.
Right.
So it was it was better for me and better for us as a family to be coming home and taking care of the dog in the house and getting things set up.
Right.
So on the way home, there was a lot of traffic. Yay, thanks Atlanta.
Yeah, anytime.
And I decided to stop at this antique market. And as I was walking through the aisles, I found these series of little bells. And I was like, that's perfect. I need a bell. Somebody's going to need a bell to ring me. And because she's not going to be able to see her cell phone to be able to text me or call me. So she's going to need something to make noise.
Right.
And so I picked up the first bell. What?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I picked up the first bell and it had this little tag on it that said "Old Goat Bell," and I immediately started cracking up. Because I mean, what better? She's an old goat,
right?
And she needs a bell,
right?
So here we go. It's an old goat. Goat bell.
Old goat bell. The bell has a nice sound too. It's not too clangy.
Yeah, it's not too sharp.
It's not too sharp. It's kind of low and melodic. So that was nice. So then, Eggy, let's get into some of the care that needed to happen.
So,
as you can see, she has her gloves on. Yes, always gloves, always clean hands and gloves. Go ahead.
Scream your name through the hallway like Batman. Oh, Tig. So I have on this little table that you can't see next to me, a stack of a lot of our equipment and materials that we've been using for healing and aftercare. So the process is that you have to, for the first 72 hours, you have to use cold compresses.
Yeah. For 15 to 20 minutes per hour that you're awake.
Yeah. To help reduce the swelling. And then I don't have back prop here because that's a little cumbersome to deal with. But anyway, fortunately, we got these cool little ice packs from the hospital that we took home because they were going to dispose them anyway because they're single use. So we used those for the cold compresses for those first few days.
Yep.
And we had to basically clean around all of her incisions. So basically the way the incisions are, they go basically in front of the ear here on both sides, and then around and up around the upper part here. And then the face lift and neck lift, there's incisions behind each ear. And then there's an incision under the chin here, which you can no longer see.
It is pretty magical.
Gone. The incision under the chin, and then there's the incision underneath the nose for the lip lift.
which is almost gone too.
Yeah. So right now she's healing really, really well. There's been very few hiccups, but as far as the care itself, we would use things like
I still have some staples in my head right here because the wound wouldn't close. So they put some.
They're not staples.
What are
They're sutures. They're
no,
just stitches. They're not staples.
they're not staples?
No. They're
Oh,
stitches.
okay.
Yeah.
They're sutures.
Yep.
Never mind. Okay.
So in order to clean each of the incisions, which we did 2 to 3 times a day, with warm water only, we would use things like sterile gauze in a 3x3 or a 4x4. And we would also use Q-tips.
Yep, Q-tips.
To basically get in there and be as gentle as possible, especially the first couple weeks. You have to be pretty gentle around those incisions and baby them quite a bit.
Right. Especially if they still have the sutures in or the staples in, because there were staples, right?
Yeah, there were staples. There were staples here, and then there were staple behind each ear.
Right.
So it was really right here. This is where the drain was.
That's
during
right.
surgery.
That's right.
So that's why the staples were here, and that's why the sutures are there now, because it's slower to heal once they take that out.
Although I think it's healed over.
It's mostly healed over now.
Yeah.
It's still a little bit tender,
It's tender and angry.
pinkish,
Yeah.
but it's getting there.
I think it's healed up well. Okay.
So once we clean everything with the warm water, obviously very gently, for the first week? For the first week, we would use bacitracin on all the incisions only. Only the bacitracin.
Right.
And nice good layer of it 2 to 3 times a day after cleaning. Once she had all the staples and sutures removed, which was about a week later.
Some of them have not been removed. Dun, dun, dun.
I know, right? There's like 1 or 2 lingering little stitches that did not, like there's one right here,
spicy,
and there's one behind her left ear.
Yeah.
That we think is still sitting there, and then of course there's these few here that they had to actually put back in, because once they took the staples out, they saw that it wasn't closed enough.
A gaping head wound.
So they put the stitches back in. There's like 5 of them. So yep. Definitely.
Yep, definitely.
Very important.
Right.
In terms of keeping them hydrating and keeping any of the icky microbes away.
Right, right.
So the main thing was under the nose for the lip lift. That area we had to baby quite a bit, because obviously with any exaggerated facial expressions, it can hinder the healing process because it wants to pull on those on that incision. So it was a challenge to keep her expressionless.
Right.
So,
come on now. Even now I can't smile all the way.
Yeah.
It's still tight, but yeah, like my face, you can read.
Yeah.
You know, I am not a poker player, and there's a reason for that.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's there were also incisions inside her mouth. So she had to use rinse with chlorhexidine after every time she ate.
Yeah.
So to help keep any
incisions and wounds,
keep those incisions clean. And I think for the most part, the only real hiccups we've come across in the healing process thus far are obviously this, where they had to put the stitches back in where the drain was.
A little angry, yeah.
And we also noticed after they took the sutures out, like what was it, like 2 days later at home, we were cleaning, and I noticed behind this ear, her right ear, that the incision that goes right along the seam of her ear and behind it, the incision was reopening. There was wound separation. So we immediately called because it was late in the afternoon. It was around like 3 o'clock, I think. And we made sure to call the surgeon's office right away, and
Right.
they were able to get in touch with Dr. Wen, and he gave us some advice of basically slathering it with the bacitracin and then putting some non-stick. Where's the non-stick? Here's the non-stick.
Non-stick
Non-stick pads
pads.
behind the ear. Whoops.
Yeah,
Sorry.
behind this ear
And
and
then putting the head wrap on to basically compress and keep the ears flat, so that way when she goes to lay down or do anything, it helps to keep those incisions together and closed for as long as possible.
I don't think at this time I was still able to. I was able to lay on my side. Was I?
At that point, not yet.
Okay.
You weren't quite yet able to sleep on your side yet. There was still some days. It was the next follow-up that we went to.
The head wrap essentially, like Egg said, squished my ears. Basically squished the two pieces of skin together so that they could heal.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they did. No need for extra incision and sutures or anything like that. Apparently I had a little opening on this side as well.
Yes, we noticed the following day that the other behind the left ear, there was some wound separation there too, only much less than the right ear. So we basically did the same thing. We put a good film of the bacitracin on there, the nonstick pads, and then the head wrap to compress and keep everything flattened. And
yeah, Tig, the Aquaphor, we use that for our tattoos. So yeah, that's definitely something good.
Yeah. We definitely have.
Hey, OnyxRose, what's up? Thank you for tuning in.
Welcome. So I think in terms of the day-to-day, it was just a lot of up and down, back and forth, ice pack, doing the cleanings, making sure everything looked good, doing
pain medication,
managing the pain medication, and also the antibiotics,
ibuprofen,
and
the steroid. So I was on a lot of medication. And Nurse Egg here made sure that she set alarms every single time.
Yeah, I set timers in my phone for the pain meds specifically, because those were every 6 hours.
Yes, Joe, only on my back.
Yep, only on her back for the first almost 2 weeks.
Yeah, and sitting pretty much upright. Yeah.
Which is very difficult for her unless she's on the couch.
Unless I'm on the couch.
On the couch.
If I'm in the bed, I can't sleep sitting upright, but on the couch I can. Yeah, managing pain is a big one. Antibiotics wrecked my stomach without food. We have had experience with that before.
Yeah.
So we, at this point, Egg would make I had some strange cravings, like tuna and eggs, mixed together, and that was it. Yeah. Tuna and eggs. Eggs, Jello.
So basically the things that we've been doing, like I had the timers for the pain meds. And then when it was time to do the antibiotic and the Medrol, I would do the antibiotic and the Medrol together, usually depending on the schedule of the Medrol. And we would keep those separate at least 2 hours apart from any pain medications, because we know that her stomach does not like pain meds and antibiotics together, unless it's the ibuprofen. That was fine. But
we also had food. Yeah.
Right.
If food was important. Yeah, I always ate a little something.
Right. There was always something that would go in her stomach: applesauce, Jello, eggs,
mashed potatoes.
Trying to think of other things. I can't think of them right
now. Yeah, a lot of cool stuff. Applesauce. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was just an ongoing, like usually every hour, every 2 hours, it was always something that needed to be managed or done, whether it was medications and whatnot. And then of course there was her regular
broth this time. Yeah. Daily
tomato soup. That was one.
Tomato basil soup.
Yep. Tomato basil soup was one too.
Yum. Of course, I got sick of it as time went on.
Right,
So,
because you're eating the same things every
right.
day, so it gets
Um,
tiresome.
no broth. I used to, in the hospital, I'll have broth, but at home, I usually don't. Um, yeah, nothing too heavy or protein heavy, fiber heavy. Yeah.
We have protein shakes.
Protein shakes, yep, had protein shakes, definitely.
Yeah.
The tuna had protein in it, so
Yeah.
I was getting enough protein, and then I had to reintroduce all my daily meds.
Mhm.
So with that, I was taking like medication almost around the clock,
Yeah.
and she was the one who was distributing it and keeping time. So, that relieved me of having to think about it.
Mhm.
Because at that point in time, it would have just been lost on me.
Too overwhelming.
A little too overwhelming. Yeah, I was trying to heal, and she was my nurse. So,
Yep.
so what about the
So
next stuff?
so basically, once like in terms of after cleaning, we would use the bacitracin, but we would also use arnica gel. And
Arnica
arnica gel,
or Arnicare?
Arnicare,
Is it Arnicare or
Arnicare.
Arnicare or Arnica?
Um,
I guess it's Arnicare.
yeah,
It's
that's the
ARN.
name of the brand.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
anyway, but we would put that in the areas away from the sutures to
good.
help with the bruising and swelling as well.
Yeah, because it was kind of funny. I had a swollen chest, like this big bruise on my chest, like they had been like just beating on it. It didn't hurt, but it was just discolored. So yeah, the arnica. So and yeah, put arnica all over my face. It's this cool feeling
Yep.
gel.
It was cheeks,
Yeah,
forehead, bridge of the nose,
yeah,
chin,
no,
neck area, because she did have some pretty severe bruising on this side,
yeah,
and then some bruising along her collarbone here
and
and into
down
the
in here,
chest.
right?
So we used the arnica all in those areas.
Like how people call all right, right, yeah, yeah.
Um, so some of the other products that we've been using, especially now that we don't have to use the bacitracin on all of her incisions, we only have to keep using the bacitracin on behind the ears and then right here where the sutures are, where the drain was. That's the only places we really have to continue to use the bacitracin. But now in the other suture areas or incision line areas, we've switched
Like
to the
all of it.
Stratoderm, which is a silicone scar therapy gel. And it really is fantastic. It's expensive,
It really is expensive for
but
that little tube.
but it does go a long way because you use a tiny bit at a time.
Right.
And so basically we would put it along the incisions here, in front of the ears, underneath the nose,
Right.
under the chin.
Under the chin.
So we're using the Stratoderm now. Since this tube is almost gone, we will be switching to Scaraway. There we go. The Blair kind of got
There we go. Scarway.
which based on what I could find online, this was a more cost-effective scar therapy gel that is silicone based that has the most similar and active ingredients as the Stratoderm. So we're gonna switch to the Scarway once we're out of the Stratoderm.
Yeah.
One of the things that has been a struggle for you in terms of the healing process is the nose.
OMG.
This poor, poor, poor human cannot breathe.
I like breathing. First of all, when I went to the surgeon's office and they were like, we've got these little,
We'll definitely post, Kimmy.
yeah, they were like, we've got these little things in your nostrils to help keep the nose open. I was like, okay, that's cool. So we're going to take them out today. They took out slugs, y'all. Slugs. Those
Yeah.
things were so big.
Yeah, I was not expecting it. I thought they were just going to be these like little tiny hollow plastic tubes or something that they were just going to slide out. But no, they were like this long.
Right.
That long.
Right. It was
Yeah,
pretty,
for nose.
and he was like, okay, 1, 2, 3, breathe out. But I breathed in. So I was like, and like this thing just comes slithering out of my nose. It was pretty disgusting.
Yeah, something out of a sci-fi.
Yeah.
the problem she's been having is her nasal passages have been super dry because, hello, it's also wintertime when it's the most dry. And
Right.
that's one of the reasons why we had the humidifier, which has helped. Um,
Yes, Tig, you're
yeah,
right.
yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
yeah. And she's been having a number of bloody noses,
Yeah. Bloody noses.
related to it. And obviously there's some irritation, and inflammation in there. So this has been, they, the surgeon told us that we can use things like saline wound wash,
Yeah.
or a saline nasal spray, with the Q-tips to help kind of re-moisten those nasal passages,
Clear out all the debris.
and help clear out some of the crusty ick.
Yeah.
So we started doing that, but she didn't get much long-term relief from that. It would be constantly having to spray inside her nose, like
Which I still do.
every 20 to 30 minutes, which she's still doing. But we found that it's called Boogie Saline Nasal Gel. See, I don't know.
Here,
That's
you got it?
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
Boogie.
You can find it in the baby section.
In the baby section.
But the gel helps to provide a more, like, a thicker coat.
Yes, because my sinuses are adjusting themselves.
Yep,
it's 100% right. Yeah.
So we've been using the saline nasal gel and it kind of supplementing that in between the sprays, to help kind of coat and provide a little more relief. See what is Tig saying? A lot of people don't realize that all of the holes in your face are connected via the sinus.
No, that's true. Yeah, we actually learned that when we saw the CT scan, the CAT scan.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah,
that was wild.
yeah,
Absolutely wild. But so that has been a challenge in terms of healing, mostly from a comfort issue because sleep is difficult. Sleep is very difficult to come by for her. And
sleep has been hard for me anyway. And now combined with the rhinoplasty, where I can't breathe, breathing out of my nose is pretty much impossible. So I have to breathe out of my mouth, which means I have to remind myself to actually breathe out of my mouth because I want to breathe out of my nose.
Right. So that's been probably one of the major challenges. One of the other,
Go ahead.
One of the other things that we had to deal with, especially the first week post-op, was there was a lot of matted, dried blood in her temple area, in her hair, and there is some still in there because we can't quite do the whole full washing of the hair quite yet. But I was at first just trying to use the warm water because I was trying to be as gentle as possible around those incisions. But it wasn't really very effective. I could take like a little layer at a time, and it was very painstaking.
Basically, there was a lot of blood.
There was a lot of blood pooled, like, on each temple, like in this area, and then on the other side. Those were the
dried
most
and matted and caked.
Yeah, it's pretty ick.
So
basically, we talked to the surgeon about that.
Dr. Wen at Radiance.
Yep. And he recommended that we mix 50-50 of hydrogen peroxide and warm water.
Hydrogen peroxide?
Yep. Hydrogen
peroxide.
So we mixed that 50-50 with warm water, and I would use the Q-tips or the gauze pads. But I had to make sure to steer very clear of those incisions.
Right.
And just kind of work very gently in those areas and some small patches over a couple of days. And we were able to break those up really well.
Right.
Obviously there's still some caked inside the locks themselves, but that will come out when we do her washing.
Well, I hope so. I mean, there's a lot of blood caked in a lot of my locks. It's going to take a couple washings. It's going to take more than a couple washings. And the thing about it is when my locks get wet, they are super heavy.
Yep.
So like keeping the head up and trying to make sure that I don't like, I guess I don't interfere with the incisions,
Yeah.
is going to be a process.
Yeah.
I don't know how people wash their hair after FFS. But with locks, it's going to be a different process altogether, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
It's full of helpful fun facts.
the peroxide kills blood cells and evaporates blood. It's why you use it for a crime scene. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Coming in hot with the
Coming
facts.
in hot with the facts from the crime scene.
I love
Yeah,
it.
definitely.
But that's overall all the products that we've been using. Obviously there's things like she's not able to do any heavy lifting or exercise
Not supposed to.
until she's cleared by Dr. Wen. So it's going to be important to make sure that you continue to just kind of chillax as much as possible.
So out
keep
of
things
this,
chill. She tries to help out around the house as best she can, but I keep poo-pooing her because you're not supposed to lift that. You're not supposed to lift that.
Right out of the gate, I kind of was moving pretty fast.
Yeah.
And I felt great, and I still do feel great, but I feel like I need to slow down.
Yeah.
Because I can feel things like when I bend down, like gravity feels kind of strange, and my head feels kind of strange. So I'm beginning to understand that, yeah, I do need to just slow it down a bit.
A lot more healing to go.
Yeah, I've got a lot more healing to go. Yeah, it's going to take 6 to 8 months to 9 months to be fully healed. 3 months is where I'll see most of the look of the face. But for everything to go down, for me to get all my expressions back, 6 to 8 months. It's a long game.
Yeah.
It's not something that happens overnight. And I was just moving and bopping and grooving like a little bit too early. So now I'm going to take it easy.
So I have a question for you.
For me?
Yes, for you.
Oh, okay.
So Nurse Egg would like to know.
Okay.
You mentioned that, post-op, especially once you got home and you got a couple days, post-surgery, you were feeling really good.
Right.
You start moving and shaking and doing the things.
Right.
And hopping too. Do you feel like part of that was like excitement and adrenaline, like pumping about like being post-op and seeing some of the results and kind of
I think part of it is that part of it was definitely the peace. And like I keep on saying that, but gender euphoria, yeah, but it was more like peace, like it it wasn't it was euphoric, yes, but it was so peaceful that it was like bliss. So I was
like a period of ecstasy.
like a period of ecstasy, yeah. So I was feeling good, and I was feeling really good. That doesn't mean I feel bad now. It just means like right after surgery, I was up and moving around more than people thought I would be, or should have been. Yeah. But yeah, so now I am taking the necessary rest that I need.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Nurse Egg has been wonderful. She has lost a lot of sleep.
I have since caught up.
Well, you can't really catch up on all that sleep.
Well, no, but I like there was definitely a period where like the first week went pretty smoothly. I think we were both so elated to be kind of on the other side of the equation. And
after all that work,
all of that planning and prepping and all of that.
Yeah, that's awesome, Tig. Yeah, no, actually, that is awesome. Yeah,
very much.
Yeah.
But I think we were just so elated to be kind of on the other side, and in the healing portion of things that we were both in very good headspaces, like the week post-op. First week post-op.
Yeah, definitely.
Unfortunately for me, the funky sleep pattern
Of getting up at what,
of-
2 or 3 in the morning
well,
each morning,
well,
like
like
2 hours.
yeah, and then getting up like 3 hours after that, and then three after that. And it was just like this constant, um, not being able to get like a solid at least 6 hours of sleep at a time. And so that finally caught up with me, and I started getting real cranky.
Punchy. She was very punchy, but that's
Um,
okay. I can understand that.
so I had to kind of check myself a couple of times because I found myself getting a little too jabby. But fortunately, we had our friend Mish Mish be able to come over and give me a couple hours to kind of vacate and kind of reset a couple times throughout the first week, which was really nice. Thank you, Mish Mish.
Thanks, Mish Mish.
And so we've had a lot of support. We've had a lot of and not just from those who are physically in our lives from a day-to-day basis, but from those who are out there like all of you, providing support and really kind words. It really goes a long way. I just want to say thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. That is something that has helped me through this whole process, and also relating and sharing it to everybody.
Maybe life in the future.
Well, there will not be. We have dogs and cats.
Just the four-legged variety.
Yeah, just the four-legged variety. But yeah, that I forgot what we were talking about.
I don't know. I got distracted.
Okay, well, that's fine. We'll talk about something else. um, but yeah, so healing is still going well. I've graduated to eating soft, mushy things to now I can eat a hamburger. I can't open my mouth all the way to, take a big bite. So it's like baby bites, like peck here, peck here, peck here.
Yeah.
But I'm able to chew the meat. So
not crunchy things quite yet.
not crunchy things quite yet, right? But getting there.
But getting there.
Getting back there. And this is all building up so that I can have a steak. That's what I really want.
You could probably actually do a steak.
I could probably do a steak.
As long small little baby bites.
Small baby bites. I want a ribeye.
Well, I can make that happen. You know that.
Yeah.
So one of the other little challenges, not necessarily like tied to healing, but not necessarily directly, was getting through the holiday.
Oh, yeah.
During the healing process, and trying to make the holidays happen in a way that really suited where we're at in this journey.
Right.
So we had planned to have some of my family over, one of my brothers and his daughter, and we were going to have them come over, open presents, and have a nice meal. Unfortunately, they got the flu.
Six, the ickies.
Yeah, got the icks right before the holidays. So I had them stay home, and
thankfully, because I don't want to get sick.
We don't want to get sick. And I ended up cooking most of the day.
6-7 hours of the day.
Lots of cooking.
Which, by the way, the amount she put in, like the food was so fucking good, like really, really good. You did a great job.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
But it was fun. I really enjoyed it. And so I made food. I packed up food for my brother and his daughter, and brought it over to them so that they had at least some good holiday stuffs. And obviously brought their gifts over there too. So
right.
They can have them. So it was pretty quiet here on the homestead though.
Pretty quiet. We did exchange gifts like a little bit earlier. She surprised me with a big gift, which is my Burberry Goddess. That is my favorite eau de parfum.
Mm-hmm.
It's wonderful. I actually got a compliment from a bearded guy today. I said, "Oh man, you smell great." And I was like, "Yeah, thank you." But yeah, he was really nice about it. So, I do like the scent. Egg likes the scent because she keeps on taking my bottle. Now I have a bottle and she has a bottle. um, but yeah, so we exchanged little gifts. That aside from the Burberry, which was a little bit more expensive, we did do some little gifts.
Yeah, some little gifts.
Yeah, nothing super major. We didn't know how healing was going to look
Yeah.
that close to the actual Christmas holiday. Now we celebrate both solstice and Christmas, Yule, we throw it all in together. So we really were not sure of
Yeah.
what was going to happen.
Yeah, we didn't want to overcommit ourselves and
To
be completely
anybody.
frazzled.
Right, right. So we didn't make any commitments to anybody.
Yeah.
We were just like, listen, this year is going to be a year where we are going to be out of the equation. And that's just fine. The holiday bustle is it's a little bit too much for I think either of us at this point, because there was a point where we were going to two separate houses on each holiday. And that is done and good. But
it was just taking too much of a toll on us.
I love my bio family, but they're my bio family. And that's all I can say about that.
So cryptic.
My bio family's my bio family. They're my family because they have to be my family. My parents are cool. Like so we all know the story about my parents. My dad finally used my name for the first time in 10 years on his 80th birthday. Yay, dad. But my parents overall have been supportive of this FFS journey.
Yeah.
Which is surprising. Now they've misgendered me and dead named me in front of my surgeon, and they continue to misgender me and dead name me. They say it's because they're old and they just can't get used to all this new lingo and my new name because they knew my old name for 40 years and they named me this and all this crazy shit. Anyway, family drama. My siblings and I are not really all that close, so they didn't really participate very much in any of the healing, any of the planning, any of the like food pre or post op, nothing. Um, thankfully we have.
Well, we mostly had it all covered.
We did mostly have it all covered
at that point, so it wasn't from a lack of wanting to support. It was just
I don't know about that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I just guess I just see it a little different.
Yeah, I'm not really sure about that because I still haven't heard anything major from. Well, yeah, I haven't heard anything major. Like any kind of compliments, any kind of, can we help in any way type of things.
Well, that was while you were in surgery.
That was while I was in surgery. Okay. Well, I didn't know about that because I was knocked out. No. Yeah. I don't know. Yes, misuse. Yes, definitely. We can choose our own family. And that goes a long way to helping. Mishmish definitely helped Egg out multiple times, let her get some breathing, let her go out and do some things. So she wasn't in the house all the time. Mishmish would just come sit with me. We would talk, hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, couldn't ask for better chosen family. I'd like to throw some more queer people in, but that's just me. But we've got a nice little chosen family. We've got a nice little fam, and we're protective of each other. And come through in a pinch when they need help and when we need help.
Yep.
Oh.
So is there maybe I ask y'all. Do y'all have any questions?
Any questions out there
as far as the healing process? What it's been like? What we've had to do, and we'd love to hear from you if you have any questions or comments. I think we've covered most of it though.
covered most of the healing process. The healing process will continue.
Ongoing.
Ongoing. We'll use the bacitracin over here. We'll use the
scar gel.
The scar gel on all the scars. We'll talk to the surgeon on Monday. I will tell them that, I think there are still a few stitches or sutures left in. What? Oh shit. Okay. Talk. Yeah. Okay. This is fun.
So basically there was one morning where I had gotten up and Sophia was like, I think there's metal in my head. I think I have horns. And I was like, wait, what? And she was poking at an area right behind her hairline and behind one of her locks up here in the front. And I went to take a closer look and I was like, that's a screw.
A motherfucking screw. Sticking out of my head.
And so there was just a little tiny opening in her skin, and there was a little that you could just see the top of the screw.
I could feel it. Yeah.
And then she found another one on the other side. So
that one was more prominent.
Right.
That one. So those were my horns. And I was, to be completely honest, the first night I found them, I was having bad dreams, panic attacks, nightmares. It was a horrible night because, I was dreaming that like spikes or horns were sprouting up all over my head. And that they were going to have to like open my head again and like do some major surgery and pull some stuff out.
No. But well, the thing is that neither of us were aware that that there were screws in there.
Because he never said anything about it.
We weren't told about the screws, and so all of a sudden, we wake up and we find screws sticking out of her skin. It was just very alarming. So basically we already had an appointment for a follow-up for Dr. Wen to take a look at the wound separation behind her ears. Oh, sorry. OnyxRose.
Go ahead.
Anyway. So the incisions behind the ears, we were gonna have him take a look at those during that follow-up. And so we pointed out the screws. And
the horns,
and we were we were informed that the religious symbolism was strong here. So we talked about the horns, and Dr. Wen basically explained that the screws were actually temporary. They were just to help relieve the tension from doing the oh my gosh, the hairline lowering. So it was there to support that, to help keep tension off of the incision in the forehead. So
he just got a screwdriver,
yeah, a little surgical screwdriver, and took those horns right out.
They just
right then and there.
So my head is numb, like it's completely numb right up here.
Are they?
What, screws?
Yeah, I had them. Oh, they're there.
Yeah. My head is completely numb, so he was just like, woo, doo, 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 doo. I didn't feel anything, and that was good. I was a little sad to see them go because I still didn't get my chin bone. That's another topic of issue. We got to call them, the hospital, the path lab. But Egg is going to try and show you one of my. Here, let me get one.
Got it?
Yeah. Okay.
So little tiny.
Let's see. That is what was sticking out of my head. And there were two of them, one on either side.
So you can see kind of how long it is.
Yeah.
It was definitely longer than I thought they would be.
Yeah, they could have said something. That's why I was a little shocked. I was like, what that's why I was having these panic attacks, because I was like, I'm finding metal in my head and I'm feeling like maybe they left tools or something in there.
Yeah.
And of course, Dr. Wen was all casual about it. And he was like, yeah, we just left these in just to, do
Keep the
this,
tension off the
keep the
incision.
the tension off the incision.
Yeah.
And he didn't really seem to be bothered by it at all. So,
Well, of course, he's not bothered by it.
right,
This is everyday life for Dr. Wynn.
right.
But yeah, it probably would have been better if we had been informed of them, so that way we knew they were there and we could be keeping them clean during that process. But anyway, fortunately, there wasn't any major issues or anything. We were able to keep it clean the couple of days from when we found them to our appointment.
And they actually closed up.
Yep,
they're closed up.
Yep,
so,
they're closed up now.
No.
And healing just fine.
Yeah, we do put bacitracin on them.
Yep.
Just to keep the film there and the ickies away.
Yep.
But
yeah, that was the only other kookiness that we came across during the healing process so far.
Right. Which is good. Horns, okay. I can handle horns. Anything else, might be a problem.
Right.
But yeah, so I think that, let's see, it's always the reconstructive surgeons, not the cosmetic ones. Right. Okay, let's see. Do you have anything else to talk about?
I think we covered everything that I can think of.
Okay, so this is this is going to be the end of this journey in terms of this installation.
Mm-hmm.
We'll probably pop back on. I know I'll pop back on at some point, but I'll get Aggie on with me, and we can talk about stuff in maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, how the healing's going. See if I can actually get my smile back. Right now, my chin right here, all the way down, is numb. My lower teeth are numb. My head is numb. I do have some pain right here, and everything else is good. Yeah, so I've got some numb spots, and those are to be expected. I've heard that when the nerves start reattaching, it feels like little ants marching around your head. So I'm not looking forward to that. I do have itchiness in my head right now. So
that could also be from dirty ick too.
Yeah, dirty ick, and not being able to wash my hair and getting blood and plasma and other gunk caked in.
Yeah. The other thing about the healing too is after the first 72 hours, we switched from cold to heat compresses or warm compresses, really.
Which, to be fair, we haven't done enough of. So we're going to do one when we're done. When we're done with this film, we are going to do one.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Yeah. And then we're going to think about some kind of food.
Yeah. So is that it?
I think that is it. Let me just do a real shout out real quick to Sarah. Thank you, Sarah, for the yummy tea, the yummy hot chocolate, and the balm. Yeah, I can't wait to try the balm. Yeah. And the tea. The tea looks really great. The hot chocolate, I do like hot chocolate, but I don't know about spicy hot chocolate. We will try it.
Hey, try.
Yeah, but the tea looks and smells delicious.
It does smell nice.
Yeah, it smells divine. So,
and did you already thank Lisa Joy for the?
Yes, I did, Lisa Joy.
So pretty.
Thank you for the snowflake. It is definitely pretty and made my day when I got it. Thanks to all the crew at Thistle and Moss, Thistle and Fern. Y'all know who y'all are. Thanks. Just keep it up. Trauma Talk, all that good stuff. Y'all can catch me on Trauma and Voices Monday and Thursday when they need a seat when they need a seat filled Monday and Thursday at 1:00 or 2:00, right around there is Trauma and Voices, or now I think it's called The Gathering. I go live every once in a while by myself. You can catch me at OnyxRose9.substack.com. I do a lot of different things, TikTok videos, pictures of roses and flowers, because I love flowers. So you can keep on giving me flowers.
Always.
Always. And poetry, the bloody awful poet, long form work, short form work. I got it all. But yeah, so take a look at my site, take a look at my notes. I tend to post a lot of notes, a lot of memes that I think are perfect for the time being, or that express my thoughts at that point. Um, yeah. So with that, I think it's time to go ahead and close this video. What do you think?
All right.
All
Nurse
right.
Eggy signing off.
Nursing. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Bye.
Okay.